Hey everybody, welcome to your Saturday edition of the Virtual Keeper Chat. If you are a regular visitor of the zoo, you may know what exhibit I'm standing in. Feel free to put in the comments if you have a guess as to where we may be. I'm going to let some people join us before I unveil who we're with today. I hope you're all having a great Saturday. If you're new to Buttonwood Park Zoo, we are here coming to you live from New Bedford, Massachusetts. Hey Cassie, hope everything's going well in Florida. Hey Sarah. I bet Sarah could guess where we're at today. This is a different angle than those of you who have visited us may have gotten, because I'm inside the exhibit instead of on the outside. So we're just going to wait a couple minutes, make sure we have some friends on. Oops, Susan is guessing red panda. I'm going to guess Susan is a visitor of the Buttonwood Park Zoo. Hi, Kevin. All right. We're also going to give our animals a chance to come on down. Oh, we got another red panda. We've got some good guesses. All right, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to the keepers that we're here with today. We're here with Mike and Joey. Mike's closest to me, and there's Joey. And I'm going to hand it over to them. Mike's going to introduce you to our animals, and then we'll definitely take some questions in the comment as well.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our red panda exhibit. We have two red pandas here at the Buttonwood Park Zoo. We have Marie, who's right in front of me, who I'm feeding. And we have Jacob, who's kind of hanging up at the top of the exhibit right now, but hopefully he'll be making his way down here in a few minutes. So Marie is about 2 years old. She'll be turning 2 in June. She comes to us from Detroit, and she's super adorable, as most red pandas are. But I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about red pandas as we feed her, and she's going to be showing us some of her very unique adaptations she has. So they call red pandas vegetarian carnivores because they eat almost exclusively plant matter, but they have teeth or dentition more like a carnivore. So you can kind of hear and see the sound that she's making when she's chewing up her apples, grapes, and bananas. Another really cool thing about red pandas is they have what they call a false thumb, which is just an extra bone in their wrist that allows them to hold their food. It's an adaptation they acquired for the need to hold bamboo branches to eat the leaves off of them. And we'll probably get a better look at that in a little while when she's eating some bamboo later. So red pandas are an endangered species. They are native to the highland forests in Eastern Asia. There's only about 10,000 left in the wild. And their primary threats are habitat loss and poaching to some degree, but it's mostly habitat loss. They're doing a lot of clearing of the forest over there to make farmland and so there was a noise that startled Marie a little bit. She should be coming back down here in a minute. Come on, Marie.
There's Jacob. You want to tell us a little bit about Jacob?
So Jacob is he's going to be 3 in June as well. And he comes to us from Cleveland Metro Park Zoo.
Welcome. All right, we've got some questions coming in, so maybe while we're waiting for Marie to come back down to us, they were wondering why their fur is red.
So their fur is red because there are a lot of red mosses and also some white lichens in the fir trees that they hang out in their native habitat. Come on, Marie. And that really helps them camouflage.
Sandra would like to know if they're related to pandas at all.
They are not related to pandas at all. Red pandas are in their own family, and they have no one else in their family. They're most closely related to mustelids, so things like otters and skunks and
We had a great question. They're wondering what they're eating right now.
So these guys get a specially portioned amount of apple, grape, and banana, which is definitely the favorite part of their diet. They also get a few branches of bamboo, and there's also some bamboo in their habitat which they can eat as well.
Can they swim?
They're not great swimmers, so that is one of the theories as to why there are two subspecies of red panda, and there's a river that separates the two subspecies.
Oops. Do you brush their teeth?
We do not brush their teeth. They keep their teeth pretty clean by eating bamboo. There's a lot of silica and things in bamboo, so that keeps their teeth pretty clean.
Do they have any kind of smell or musk?
Red pandas actually have scent glands. One of the neat things about red pandas, they have scent glands on the bottom of their feet, so they can communicate with other red pandas.
Nikki and Alenia are asking a little bit about if they're gentle.
I would say they're fairly gentle. I mean, these guys were born in other zoos, and they had contact with people pretty early on in their lives, so they're very acclimated to being hand-fed. They don't particularly enjoy being touched, but it's training that we do to help if something arises or something, we can touch their bodies and just feel if we have to.
Colin, age 6, is wondering how big they may get.
They can get up to about 14 pounds or so. Marie and Jacob are both right around 12 pounds, so they are full grown, and they're full grown right at about a little over a year old.
Great. And we have some people who are noticing this red ball behind her. What's that all about? What do they like to play with? What's in there?
So we'll give them some enrichment items throughout the day, and sometimes it's a ball with some food in it, or we'll do things like introduce different scents that they can smell, since they do enjoy smelling different scents.
Oh, here comes Jacob. Are Marie and Jacob a couple? Will they have a baby?
That is the hope. So since red pandas are not doing all that great in the wild, it is important for zoos to continue to maintain a healthy, genetically diverse captive population. So in case the population in the wild continues to decline, we'll be able to reintroduce some red pandas into the wild and help those guys out in the future.
Great. And I see Joey's coming in right now with some, looks like bamboo. What's that all about?
So this is what red pandas primarily eat in the wild. It makes up about 95% of their diet. Here at the zoo, it's a little less. It's probably around 50% of their diet. And they also get their apple, grape, and banana, which you guys saw, and a specially formulated leaf eater biscuit. So this is one of their favorite things to eat, and hopefully they'll come down and demonstrate that unique adaptation I was talking about earlier, with the extra bone on their wrist that allows them to grip the bamboo.
Okay. Elena wants to know what kind of sounds they make.
They make a variety of sounds. A lot of huffing and hissing, and they can do sort of like a huff quack almost. And they're not very vocal. They only really make those sounds when they're startled.
Do they eat meat also, or only plants?
These guys here do not eat any meat. Red pandas in the wild, it is not unheard of for them to catch a small bird or mammal and eat it.
Looks like she can't resist that bamboo. How many are there in captivity? Beth would like to know.
That's a great question. I'm not entirely sure on the exact number. But they're fairly common in zoos throughout the country and the world.
Oh. Hi, Rebecca. Rebecca wants to know how much they weigh.
They're both right around 12 pounds.
So is that like about a house cat, maybe?
Yeah, around house cat size,
A little more.
or slightly bigger than a house cat.
Sandra would like to know if they can see in color or do they see in black and white?
I think they can see some colors.
So does she just eat the leaves of the bamboo or will she also eat the shoots?
These guys just eat the leaves. Giant pandas will eat the entire stalk of bamboo, but red pandas will eat just the leaves, and then in the spring when the nice tender shoots come up, they'll eat those as well.
It's a little windy here in New Bedford today, so when the wind blows, sometimes they scurry away and then come back. Sam, age 7, would like to know if they have any natural predators.
So their natural predators are things like snow leopards and jackals. And also domestic dogs are a big threat to these guys as well. Not only for predation reasons, but they can also bring in diseases and expose them to those as well.
Ooh, great question. They'd like to know if they use their tail for anything. It is a pretty impressive tail.
The tail is mostly for balance, and when it's really cold outside, these guys will curl up into a nice tight ball, and that'll help keep their faces warm.
Try and get a good shot here without spooking them. Hey. Oh, Sable, that's a great question. They are incredibly cute and people love them. Would they make a good house pet?
These guys would not make good house pets. It is actually illegal to own red pandas because they are an endangered species, and they really need ample room to roam around and lots of climbing space.
Maybe you could reintroduce these folks. Some people may have joined us later. Can you remind us who's who up here, how old they are, and where they're from?
So Marie is on your right now. She's going to be 2 in June. And Jacob is on your left, and he's going to be 3 in June. And Marie came from Cleveland. And, Marie came from Detroit, and Jacob came from Cleveland at the start.
Ooh, Sam, great question. Do they jump well?
They can't jump not as well as a cat. They do hop around the logs a little bit. They are great climbers, but not great jumpers.
Okay. I'm trying to get, she is using that thumb that Mike was telling us about, but it's kind of hard to see it from, maybe right here. You can see their claws pretty well. What do they use those claws for?
The claws are great tools for climbing. So you can see these guys using just the logs to balance on, but they'll also actually climb up the trees and logs on the exhibit as well, using those claws.
Kaiden would like to know if they would ever bite you.
They definitely could. Like most animals, they have mouths, so we are extra careful with these guys. None of the keepers here have been bit, but it's definitely something we keep in the back of our mind when we're working with these guys.
Great questions, you guys. They are very cute, aren't they? We're getting a lot of comments about just how cute they are. It's hard not to comment with that. Oh, Olivia would like to know if they can hear well.
They do have a very good sense of hearing as well.
I would imagine they would need to have a good sense of hearing to live in the wild and stay away from predators.
Stay away from predators.
What part of the world do they come from and what is their natural habitat like?
Mountainous forests in Eastern Asia, so like Eastern Himalayas, Tibet, parts of China, usually high altitude forests with bamboo and some pine trees as well.
Corby would like to know, you mentioned a little bit about how they hear, but how well can they see?
Their sight is pretty good as well. These guys have to keep an eye out for predators. All of their senses are pretty keen. They have a really good sense of smell, their vision's good, and their hearing is good.
Yeah, stay nice and close to me so we can hear you. Can they run pretty fast?
These guys are surprisingly fast. I'm not exactly sure how fast they can run, but they can definitely move when they need to.
Do they ever spend any time on the ground, or are they mostly up in the trees?
These guys use pretty much the entire exhibit. So they'll come down on the ground and cruise around and scent mark a little bit, and then go back up into the perching and climb around and explore. These guys are great exhibit animals. They're quite active throughout the day.
Hi, Emily. Emily wants to know if they have a good sense of smell.
They do. They have a very good sense of smell.
And why would they need to have a good sense of smell?
So red pandas communicate by using those scent glands. So when they mark on a log or something, they can communicate to other red pandas that they're there, potential breeding opportunities, just kind of, that's their way of communicating with each other. And then they can also smell things like potential predators, and it helps find their food as well.
All right, we got a two-part question. How many babies do they have, and do they normally live in a group with other red pandas in the wild?
They can have 1 to 3 babies at a time.
Oh.
And they are primarily solitary, and they'll come together for breeding, and then they'll separate again. And the babies will usually leave the mother at around a year to 18 months.
Is there a name for their babies? Do they have a specific name for a red panda baby? Maybe we might have to look that one up. All right, maybe we'll take one more question. These guys seem to be ready to go take a... Are they nocturnal, or they want to take a nap here in a little bit?
In the wild, they're primarily nocturnal or crepuscular, which means that they're active dawn and dusk. Here, these guys have kind of adapted to our schedule, so they're pretty active throughout the day.
All right, and I'll take one last question. We had a good question from Laura. Did they shed their fur?
They do. We've noticed some extra shedding, especially around May or June. They'll be shedding their coats, their winter coats.
All right, I can't resist one more question because it's so good. Sam asked, do they mate for life?
As far as I know.
The answer seems to be a maybe. It's another great question. We can always look that up and answer it in the comments later. So thank you again for joining us on this Saturday morning with Jacob and Marie and Joey and Mike for our virtual keeper chat. We'll be doing these every day at 11 because we just miss connecting with you all. But know that all of our animals are doing really well. They're being really well taken care of by their keeper staff. And we can't wait to have you back when this is all over. But until then, please keep joining us for the 11 o'clock encounters, because we love seeing you and hearing all of your wonderful questions. If you joined us late, we will be posting the whole video live here in a minute, so you can go back and watch, and we will also have it up on our YouTube channel. So have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.